What is up, people? It is me, Monster58. Welcome back to another video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Age of the Primes Prime Universe Deluxe Class Smokescreen as he appeared in the Transformers Prime cartoon. Now, this is a really cool character, and in my opinion, I'm going to be honest with you, I really do like this figure at the end of the day. And with the Prime, universe figures, they've been hits or misses, right? I think Dreadwing and Skyquake are pretty good. I also think the Thundertron was pretty good. At the end of the day, I didn't mind RC either. But when it comes to, the other characters, I would definitely like to see, when it came to, like, Bulkhead and especially, like, Breakdown. At the end of the day, those characters were not my favorite. I will say one of the absolute smash home runs was Cliffjumper. So at the end of the day, when it came to this figure, I was looking forward to because I wanted to see some more Prime characters. It's one of my favorite TV shows ever. I absolutely love Transformers Prime. And so when I saw this, initially I'll tell you in the photos, I wasn't exactly super keen on this figure, and the main reason was because I thought that the upper chest and everything kind of looked a bit funky. But I'll tell you this right out the gate, that when it comes to this figure and its initial, the actual figure itself in hand looks way better than the actual photos themselves. And so getting into it, let's take a look at the box here. So the Transformers, you can see the Age of the Primes right there. Smokescreen as well, obviously. You can see the nice artwork of Smokescreen in his robot mode as well as in his vehicle mode. Then you have some more nice artwork that we saw on the front here on the side. You got some more nice artwork here of the Age of the Primes, artwork in general. I know the box is completely annihilated, but I did pick this up IRL. We'll talk about that later. But when it comes to the back, obviously you have your obligatory product shots. And so when it comes to the box, this is your average Age of the Primes, Studio Series style box. I think they did a really good job, folks. And so without further ado, alright, folks, here we have the Transformers Age of the Primes Prime Universe Deluxe Class Smokescreen out of the box and in his vehicle mode. And I gotta say, they kind of smashed it out of the park when it comes to this vehicle mode. Now, obviously, it's not 100% accurate, but it's damn close. It's really, really close, especially when you see the picture I'm going to put on screen of it right now. I think they did a fantastic job of nailing this vehicle mode for the most part. I think to me, it's kind of like a mix, and someone I saw did this online where they put the deco on a Porsche 918 Spider, which at the time was a concept car. And then they kind of mixed it with the McLarens of that era, so that would be, I think, probably the 12C and like the 650S around that era-ish is when Transformers Prime existed, because it was during the peak of the Transformers live action films and stuff like that. It was after animated, so it was sometime, I think, like 2012-ish around then, and the McLaren that would have been prevalent would have been the 12C, and then if a few years later would have been the 650S. But at the end of the day, I think they did a really good job. So taking a look at the vehicle mode, look at the details. They look really, really solid. Nice headlights there, obviously painted in the silver. You can see the nice Autobot logo there on the hood, which is really, really nice. Obviously see the iconic 38 there on the side that we saw in the actual show. He rolls okay, but I'll tell you one thing, is that the clearance for the front wheels isn't exactly the most here, especially in the wheel well. It's not the most. He rolls okay. I'm not the biggest fan of it. But taking a look at the other details, you come around here to the back, and you actually have his accessories already plugged into his back. So these end up becoming handguns, as most of the Transformers in that show had handguns, besides like Megatron and like Starscream. They all, they flew out, they were built into their hands and their arms. But this is one of those other cases where we actually have some good storage for accessories in the vehicle mode. These are nice. They're nicely painted in silver. They obviously look like exhaust tips, so they also have this nice molded in detail to also look like blasters. You'll see that in the robot mode. But again, the way that you actually attach them is to see these little grooves here. You just kind of plug them up using the 5mm pegs on the bottom of these, and then bam! And you look on the bottom, there's some robot kibble, obviously, you can see some, but it's not too bad. Overall, when it comes to the vehicle mode, I think they did a really good job of giving us a modern twist and take on the actual vehicle mode that we saw in the show. And so, really, really nice stuff. So, what we're going to do a couple of size comparisons. We're going to set this guy up to the side here. Alrighty, folks, here he is with the Transformers Legacy United Infernac Universe Deluxe Class Magnius. In his vehicle mode, Smokescreen's probably a tad bigger than your average Deluxe, but for the most part, he's your average Deluxe size, so I have no major complaints there. And finally, guys, here we have him with the Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Prime Universe Knockouts, which is at the end of the day just a repaint, remold, retool of the Transformers Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Jazz. And I really do wish that they would go back and redo Knockout. At some point, I'd love for them to redo Bulkhead and even Breakdown. But regardless, when it comes to these vehicle modes, they're pretty, similar in terms of size. I think Smokescreen here is a little bit bigger, but these do look nice together, even if I remove Knockout's, I forget what this is, his speed sphere that he used a lot in the show. But if you look at these two together, they look good. I just wish Knockout was a better figure. It's unfortunate because in the show, Knockout was extremely like curvy, I guess. He was much more streamlined, and in this he's very blocky because of the G1 design. But overall, when it comes to the size, I'm not too mad about it. He is a little bit taller. You'll see Smokescreen is in his robot mode, but that's nothing too much to complain about at the end of the day. Alrighty folks, this transformation is basically the same transformation you've seen from pretty much every single carbot ever since like '07 Bumblebee. The doors become the upper part of the backpack, the front becomes the chest and the shoulders and the arms, and then the back becomes his legs. So no surprises there. But sometimes it just works, right? That very, brutal simplicity ends up working sometimes. So we're going to remove these guns, we'll set them off to the side here. What you're going to do is you're going to open the doors, and then what I like to do is separate the back here. Come down here to the legs, and what you're going to do is split the legs, and then for one side you're just going to open them up, accordion the legs down. You're going to rotate this section all the way like so, then you're going to fold it, and you should feel like a small click. Then what you're going to do, you're going to take this back section of the foot, you're going to fold down the toe, and then you're going to pull this down so that that little gray bit is exposed. So again, you'll do the same thing here. So you're going to fold this out, you're going to accordion this whole thing down, you're going to rotate this section like so, and then what you're going to do is you're going to fold this so that you'll feel this click. These should technically peg into these little holes, so this has a peg on the back and these will plug in here. That's fine, but it's whatever. And then you come down here to the foot, fold that down, and then you're going to take this section again, just pull that part out, and then you basically have the bottom half of Smokescreen already transformed. And then for the top, we're gonna move the camera up here like so. So for the top, what you're going to do is you're going to sort of lift this up and then lift the arms out, and you're going to split the arms. You're going to rotate them down and around. So for one side, you want to rotate it like this, pull the arms down like this, and then rotate the fists out. Do the same on this side. So do this, fold this all the way down, rotate the fists out. Then you're going to fold this up like so, fold the head out. Then from here for this area, it's a little bit weird, but it's not too bad. So you're going to do your best to push this up, and then you're going to rotate this all the way down and push this in simultaneously. What you'll see is that these little grooves on like his shoulders, I don't know how well you can see those little grooves, these little pegs, these ones right here, will go into those. So you just got to line this all up, push that all the way down, accordion the doors on the back to look pretty nice. And then what you can actually do is you see those little pegs on the inside of these doors. You can actually store the guns on the inside of those, and that's really a nice way for robot mode weapon storage. And so, ladies and gentlemen, with all that out of the way, here we have the Transformers Age of the Primes Prime Universe Deluxe Class Smokescreen in his robot mode. And guys, when we put a picture of how he appeared in the show, we'll put a few pictures of how he appeared in the show on his side. Even though, just like, with Dreadwing and with Skyquake and even with Cliffjumper, even though they didn't get him 100% accurate, he's pretty damn close, and I think for a modern reinterpretation of the character, he does look fantastic. The other thing, too, I will say, is that in the pictures, like I was telling you, the one thing that kind of irked me was how his chest looked. On camera, it looks really unusual. I'll tell you that right now. It does kind of look weird. I'm looking at it through my camera lens right now, through my phone lens. It looks really weird, but I'll tell you, in person, it looks way better. Like, I don't know what it is about photos and how it comes across on camera, but I'll tell you, in person, it looks great. And the other thing about the chest, too, the reason I bring this up is because I believe a lot of people, and I also am in agreement, I believe that they will more than likely retool this into an RID Jazz, which makes a lot of sense because, I mean, just look at the vehicle mode, look at how his chest is. It just makes sense for them to retool it and repaint it, remold it into an RID Jazz. So I assume that that'll be coming soon. So if that comes true, everyone would be right, and I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, even though they didn't get it, again, 100% accurate as, reference to the show, I really think that they did a great modern reinterpretation of Smokescreen as a character in this figure. Obviously, I think that the Deluxe would probably, the original Deluxe that was in the main line of this show when Transformers Prime was being released, it does technically have a better accuracy in terms of the chest, but that was a faux chest. And in addition to that, I really did not like how he had a bunch of kibble on his arms. And this is just a much cleaner, nice modern reinterpretation of the Smokescreen character that we did see in Transformers Prime. And so that's really cool. So taking a look at the details here, you can see the head sculpt is really, really nice. I really do like the head sculpt. Nice silver for the face, blue for the eyes, nice red as well as the white. Come down here to the chest, you got the nice Autobot logo that obviously appears here. He's just really clean. Nice silver here on the knee pads, silver for the crotch piece as well. That looks good. And then you just rotate this guy around. He's just clean. You know, he's your typical carbot, but it's just a carbot done really, really well. Now, for his accessories, I will say it's very simple. You can just unplug this, then you just rotate the fist in, and then you can just plug these into those 5mm holes, and then bam, he has his one of his guns. And so that's really cool. A very clean and simple accessory, but it's just well integrated and done well. And so we are going to just plug that back in. But yeah, very simple, you know, accessory integration, but very nicely and well done. So really just solid. Like, this is just, in my opinion, this is sort of a gold standard in terms of like a carbot. Smokescreen here is exactly that. So, with all those details out of the way, what we're going to do is we are going to set this guy up to the side here, and we're going to bring in Magnus and Knockout. Alrighty folks, here he is with the Transformers Legacy United Infernac Universe Deluxe Class Magnus. As you can see, like I was telling you, Smokescreen is a little bit of a bigger deluxe. Not a massive one, but just a little bit bigger than the average size deluxe. So I still think he fits well with the other deluxe characters though, and I'm really excited to hopefully see some more improvements for the Prime Universe and general figures, you know, going forward. And then here he is with the Transformers Legacy Evolution, or just, I think, Legacy Prime Universe Deluxe Class Knockout. Like I told you, I really do think that this guy also deserves an update, and I think he deserves his proper own mold for Knockout. Because the thing you're missing here, I think, personally, is like the door wings. You're really missing that feeling for Knockout, because that was one of his iconic parts of his design in the actual show itself. But when it comes to these two, these two still look very good together. Just unfortunate that I do think Knockout is kind of a lame figure now that I look back on it. Alrighty folks, time for his articulation, and it's pretty standard. So, head is on the ball joint, so you can look up. You can't really look down, but you can do a full 360, which is quite nice. Shoulders will also do a full 360, and you can easily move the door wings out of the way. Shoulders go out, they go in. Double jointed elbows, so you get way more than 90. Rotation of the upper part of the bicep as well. No wrist articulation, but obviously that's fine. Do full 360 here at the waist. You can kick forward about that far. You can kick back about that far. 90 degree, a little more than 90 at the knee. Rotation here towards the top of the thigh, and then you do have some ankle rocker pivot. So you guys can get this guy into some pretty damn good poses. I guess one thing you just notice here, though, that kind of annoys me is that the top of the chest isn't like the same where the shoulders are super often, but overall, still like really solid articulation. Like, this is the bog standard. This is what we've come to expect. He lives up to that standard. I have no major complaints with Smokescreen's articulation whatsoever. Alrighty, folks, time for his reverse transformation. And yes, I know I have him dabbing, but at the end of the day, I feel like he would have been one of those Transformers, because he's a young warrior. I feel like he would have been the character that, you know, especially if Miko and, I just assume Miko would be the one who would be dabbing, not Jack. I think Miko would be the one dabbing, that he would dab with her. So, at the end of the day, transformation is just as simple going back to his car mode as it was going to his robot mode. Standard carbot. So, first off, we're going to do the legs. So, very easy. You're just going to rotate these out. You're going to fold these around and just rotate that up. Like so. And then what you'll do here is you'll fold the toe up, and then you'll just compress the like so. Actually, well, duh, stupid. Accordion the leg in. Hello, stupid. Hello, herder, herder. Do the same thing here. So again, fold this out, accordion the whole thing in, fold this back in, like so. You got accordion it all the way, just so this tabs in, because it'll all tab into place. Fold that up, fold that up. Goodness me, come on, tab in. There we go. And I'll tab in like that. There we go. Then you can just plug them up together, which is perfectly easy, like so. Just make sure everything is lined up like so. Then from here to do the top, what you're going to do is you're going to untab this entire section. You're going to fold the head down, then just rotate this entire section around. Then from here, all you're going to do is you're going to fold these at their double joint and make sure that they're pushed out like this. So again, rotate it like this. Then you're going to fold in the fist, fold out, so that's like this. You're going to rotate these up, then you're just going to tab them together, and then you're going to tab that what was the chest into there, like so. Then from here, all you got to do is really just fold all this down, like so. Get this to accordion like that and snap into place, then just fold the doors in. And, oh, whoops. Duh, hello, stupid. Remove these, too. Hello, idiot. Fold these in, like so. Then you can come down here, just tab these back in, like so. Make sure those are folded nice. Like that. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Age of the Primes, Prime Universe Deluxe Class Smokescreen back in his vehicle mode. And so guys, for my final concluding thoughts on the Transformers Age of the Primes Prime Universe Deluxe Class Smokescreen, this guy is a really solid Deluxe Class figure. This is everything you'd want in a carbot. Really solid vehicle mode, really solid accessories and accessory integration and accessory storage, really nice articulation, represents his character on screen very nicely. Overall, just a really good figure overall. Again, the only negatives I'd say at the end of the day would be the fact that he is nothing, to stand out, and I do think that his chest on pegging every so often is pretty annoying, and the fact that his knees kind of have to be locked in when you have him standing is a bit annoying. But overall, this is a figure, especially from the photos, that looked a bit worse than he was when you definitely get him in hand. And overall, in my opinion, this is just a fantastic Deluxe Class figure, and again, the gold standard, I think, for a carbot. So at the end of the day, from a score out of a 10, I'm going to give this like an 8. Again, really just solid figure. I really do like it, and I think that when you're looking at the cast of Prime characters and the Prime figures that they've made thus far, he ranks right up there with Cliffjumper, Dreadwing, and Skyquake at the end of the day. So I really like him. Would I recommend him for full price? Maybe not necessarily, but he is a fun carbot. If I were to say at the end of the day, Geo into my head again, yeah, I would say he's worth full price, but I wouldn't be surprised if you decide to pass on this guy, especially if you're not a Prime, Transformers Prime fan. But I just think he's a solid deluxe figure. He's kind of like Kranix, even though I do think that Kranix is the better figure. At the end of the day, I do think that this guy fulfills that, carbot, and I think he's just really solid, and I would not necessarily not recommend him for full price, because at the end of the day, he's just a really solid figure. So I did pick mine up IRL, so if you are on the hunt IRL, definitely look at your local retailers. I picked mine up at Walmart about a week ago as well. And so, if you wish to actually, pick up this guy IRL in the U.S., look at your local Walmart. I'm sure that they're going to restock one at mine. All the figures that were there are gone now for this wave at the very least. If you're in a different country, obviously look at a retailer that's equivalent to Walmart in your country and see if you can end up finding this guy on shelves. Because if he's here out in the U.S., he's basically out all over the world. So, however, I did have mine pre-ordered on Big Bad Toy Store, so leave a link in the description to that. Also leave links down below to Hasbro Pulse, as well as Amazon, if you guys wish to use those retailers instead of hunting this guy IRL. And so, that's really it for the review. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Also, follow me on the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video review, and I'll catch you on the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.